Hey guys, I'm Christina and I'm teaching you to be the CEO of your nursing license. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about, is travel nursing pay even worth it in 2023? So let's just get into it because I'm very open and honest with you guys about how much I make in each of my contracts. So make sure you stay till the end because I'm going to link what my current contract rate is right now. So let's talk about it. What is worth it to one person may be very different to another person of what is worth good paying contracts. Are we making $10,000 a week? No. Is that ever going to happen again? Possibly. Who knows? There might be another pandemic. We don't know what the future holds. And what I can tell you is the future of healthcare is looking very, very grim in the fact that I have not seen any staffed hospitals. Obviously, I'm a travel nurse, so I'm going into hospitals that aren't staffed, but it's really bad, you guys. It's not just my department that is struggling. It's the whole hospital. And I am outpatient, and inpatient is just, it's bad. The emergency rooms, this is critical for our country to have good healthcare and to have employees to take care of patients. And this ain't it, guys. I'm not seeing it. And what that says to me is there's going to be a huge need for travel nurses. And until the United States figures out a solution to the lack of nurses, we're going to continue to see high paying contracts. Here's what I have to say about high paying contracts and some tips that I can give you. It is an ebb and flow. There are going to be high seasons and low seasons, and you need to get in when there's a high season. And when there's a low season, you need to stay low. So what do I mean by that? There's just certain months where hospitals are desperate and they will literally pay you anything to come. And I've noticed that there was an uptick in September, and I have a feeling there will be another uptick in probably January, February. February of 2022 is when I got my really high paying contract where I was making $5K a week outpatient. I think that's pretty good. I would love to have a $5K a week paying job. My fall one is a little bit lower, but still really good. Summer is when things tend to dip down. So if you are in a financial situation where you could take the summers off, then that's what I would recommend for you to do. Don't work in the summer, go travel. But if you have health insurance through your agency, then you can only take up to 21 days in between contracts. So then you might have to just bite the bullet and part of the summer, try to plan it where you can take those 21 days off in summer, and then you'll pick up another contract. So my point is you need to write it out. Pick up those high paying contracts in the peak seasons, which tend to be fall and winter. From what I'm seeing, the market is kind of stabilizing around those $3,000 a week contracts. Now, if you were working during the height of high paying contracts where you were making $8K a week, then $3K seems really, really low. But if you've never been a travel nurse, $3K a week sounds amazing. So it's really all about perspective. For me personally, my bottom line is $3K a week. I won't really take anything lower than that because it's just not financially worth it to me. You're doubling your expenses, which people don't realize or don't even think about. You have a mortgage to pay or rent to pay back home, and then you have to pay rent in a new city. So you need to be smart about it. Go to cheap cities or go to cities maybe where you have family that you could rent a room from them. And also be smart about it. If you have a cousin, let's say, in Atlanta, and you're going to go take a job out in Atlanta and your cousin's oh, live here for free. Do not live there for free. You can get in really big trouble if you get caught doing that, and you will owe back all your stipends. So make sure you have an agreement, rent a room, but actually pay them, rent a room for however much money that you want to do. You guys work that out, but just make sure you are doubling your expenses. I have a friend who was not doing that, and her last year she owed $20,000 in taxes. So do the right thing and make sure you are doubling your expenses. That is why you get those tax-free stipends. So is it still worth it in 2023? For me, as long as I can find a contract over $3,000 a week, then I'm Gucci. We're good. I'm definitely going to think that that is worth it. Anything less than that to me is not worth it. But what I think is worth it might be different than what you think is worth it. Just to give you hope though, there are still high paid contracts I've seen in the 4s. And I hope that when winter gets here, we're going to start seeing some 5K contracts. You just have to be diligent, constantly checking the website. The high paying contracts go really fast. You need to apply that day and be ready to go. You also need to be open to location. If you are like dead set that you are only going to 2 places in the United States, I mean, what do you really expect? Like, if you're going to be picky, then you're not going to have the same opportunities as someone who's like, I'll go wherever. If you are willing to go wherever, then you are going to have more luck finding high-paying contracts. Everyone has different home situations. Everyone has different financial goals. So you need to decide what your bottom number is and how flexible you are in locations. That would be my biggest advice to you. Like, have a bottom number and then just look for contracts above that. And my other advice to you is just to be as flexible as you can about locations. Your agency will give you like a relocation bonus, usually like $500 in the beginning, $500 at the end, something like that. So that at least gives you some gas money if you are traveling, or hotels, because sometimes like if you are driving across the country, it's going to take more than a day. So make sure you're getting that relocation bonus because it is tax-free. Only time is going to tell what the rates are going to be in 2023. But from what I am seeing, there is not a lot of nurses out there working as staff nurses. Like, every hospital I have been to is like hemorrhaging nurses. Like, they're all leaving. They're either going to other hospitals or they're joining the travel nurse community. And because of that, I really don't see travel nursing dying anytime soon. And while travel nursing can be very stressful and it has its own cons to it, like, girl, I don't think that I could ever go back to staff nursing. The pros for me in travel nursing far outweigh the cons. The money's better, the freedom is better, the fact that I get vacation whenever I want in between contracts and no one can tell me no. And you also have power. If you want to extend your contract for a limited amount of time, you can negotiate that. And that's the last tip I have to give you. This is what I did in Indiana. I was in Indianapolis and the rates were terrible. My contract was ending in July and like I could find nothing that was above $3,000. And you know, $3,000 is my baseline. All of them were like $2,600. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to extend in Indianapolis for 6 weeks. You do not have to extend 13 weeks. I told them, listen, I'm going to extend 6 weeks. That's what I'm willing to do. So they let me do that. Then I finished that contract at the very beginning of September. I took 2 weeks off and boom, rates skyrocketed. I was able to find one that was well above $3,000 and I took it. And I'm going to leave that video right here. You can go find out exactly how much I'm making, and it is way more money to give you some encouragement that there are high paying contracts out there.